My favorite hip hop artist is Young Jeezy.
Well, I would have to say that my favorite hip hop artist is Wale.
I would have to say that my favorite hip hop artist is Drake.
Right now, my favorite hip hop artist would be 2 Chainz.
Kanye West.
Probably Drake.
My favorite hip hop artist has to be Yo Gotti.
Of course, Young Jeezy being my favorite rap artist, it would be Way Too Gone by Young Jeezy.
It's hard to say, but my favorite rap song out right now would have to be, it's old, but I like the song Betrayed by Lil Uzi.
I guess it'll be Got Them Racks.
It's an old song, but Forever Young by Jay-Z.
My favorite rap song would be Dope Peddler by 2 Chainz.
What's your favorite rap song out right now?
Diced pineapples? Diced pineapples?
Because it speaks to the lyrics of the song is very true, because nowadays it's hard to trust people, so it's basically what the song says.
I like it because it gets me crunk in the morning when I'm getting up for my early classes. And it talks about just being crunk and having lots of money. And I want money. I don't want to sell dope, but I do want money.
Why do you like that song?
Because of the beat, his way, the motive, the words, my hustle.
I swag, I cook, I chef.
I like the beat to it, but I like the fact that Drake's in it.
My mind is a little corrupt. So, the lyrics to that song just speak to my soul. And that's why I like the song. And plus, I just love it.
I like that song because it mentally takes me to a place of utopia. I'm not worrying about anything that's going on. I'm just worrying about being way too gone. Yes, I listen to the words of the song, and it kind of, I'm not going to say it make my heart rich, but it kind of make me want to do things that have me way too gone.
Yay and nay sometimes.
Usually, yeah.
Yes, I actually listen to the words of the song.
I do.
I have listened to the words of the song, and I do like the song.
Yes, I listen to every lyric. Maybe 80s and 90s had more meaning and now it's just we listen to it for the beat and the artist who actually doing it versus what the words are actually saying and the lyrics are, portraying.
In the 21st century.
Well, rap music back then symbolic and actually represented something, and rap music today just isn't the same as it was back then.
Well, rap music in the 80s and 90s actually had more meaning behind them. Nowadays, in the 21st century, we hear a lot of songs more about sex, drugs, the high life, smoking the Mary Jane and whatnot. So, yeah, I would say that's the biggest difference right now between the music then and now.
Music in the 80s and rap music in the 80s and 90s actually talked about the real problems that were going on. It seems like today everyone want to talk about how much money they have and who got the best cars and stuff like that. They're really not talking about problems in the world. Music based in the 80s and 90s were talking about real life situations.
A lot of today's rap is pretty raunchy, so.
Well, rap music in the 80s and 90s talked about the struggle and how the struggle was real. These days, it's about sex and drugs and sex.
The biggest difference between the two, I would have to say, is the 80s and 90s. It dealt more with overcoming the struggle, more with being happy, more with having a good time. And now it's more with violence and doing drugs and selling drugs and money, etc.
Come on, baby, light my fire. Come on. Everything you drop is so tired. Music is supposed to inspire. get